What is going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans, and college basketball fans? See what I did there? I switched it up on you. Normally I say college football because about all the content that I've done. No, all the content that I've done on this channel has been about football, the Arkansas Razorback football team. We're switching it up on you. If you would at the end, like, comment, share the content that you're watching. Of course, if you haven't already, feel free to tap that subscribe button down below. Let's talk about this matchup at Bud Walton tonight. So the Arkansas Razorback men's basketball team gets their biggest victory of the year, beating the Houston Cougars 84-72. So a nice 12-point victory there. They'll improve to 7-1 overall in the year, undefeated at home. Houston will fall to 6-2, 0-2 on the road overall in the year for them. They're a good basketball team. Biggest victory of the year for the Razorbacks. When you get wins like this, this is how you get fans to show up. Get nice wins like this. I thought from start to finish, Arkansas was clearly the better team. At one point, had a 14-point lead in the first half, and I think, obviously they won with a double-digit margin to end the game. This team is improving as they go. You're starting to see more and more bodies, different guys log a little bit more time. That's really good to see. Just a couple of takeaways, even though, again, impressive win, beating a really good basketball team at home by 12. Good win. But something that I've noticed this happened tonight, and it's happened a couple of other times this year, either the first half or the second half. Tonight, it definitely happened in the first half. Okay, when you're at home in a place like Bud Walton, a 14-point lead shouldn't diminish so quickly like it did tonight. And it did, and they went in at half trailing by a point. Again, the product on the court, and we've talked about this with football, product on the field, the product on the court is there for Arkansas. It's there. Fans are going to start showing up, and with a victory like tonight, you're going to get more people in the seats, and rightfully so. But when you go in at halftime, trailing by a point, when you had a 14-point lead, the crowd's not going to be into this game. And if you were watching the game live, you noticed in the second half, or maybe you were there, it doesn't take much to get the Bud Walton crowd into it. But if you could hang on to that lead going into half and keeping that momentum, it's a world of difference in the second half. You wouldn't have had that kind of uphill battle they had to go through in the second half just to get the lead and then to stretch that lead out. But that's one thing I've noticed a lot this year is their inability to really hang on to leads. And I know people are going to say, look, it's that fast 40 system. It's that Nolan Richardson, Mike Anderson DNA. It's that you're going to give up easy lanes. You're going to give up easy layups. You're going to give up easy points. Every once in a while, a guy's going to be wide open. But you should be good enough that you're able to counter that with your offensive productivity, especially when you're as good as you are in transition. I don't think there's a better team in the SEC so far this year in transition basketball on the scoring side of things. But they have got to figure out how to maintain and keep leads longer, stretch them out. The last thing I wanted to bring up really quick, and I'm going to make it as quick as I can. I'd like to see Moses Kingsley come close to playing to the level of intensity that he played with a year ago. And I get it too that, last year he wasn't on many radars. This year, scouting report, they probably highlight his name and number. They probably have a cell phone number. They probably know what kind of car he drives. They are all over Moses Kingsley because he's a real threat. We know that just by all the preseason accolades the guy's been given, the praise that he gets from opposing coaches and opposing players. He's a problem for a lot of people, and he has been this year. But I don't feel like he's playing with that same level of intensity. And even when they do, it seems like, or when they're starting to struggle from an offensive standpoint, they're not giving the ball as often to Moses. So maybe that's really the problem. The more he's involved, those guys out on the perimeter, their shots aren't as contested. They're not going to be as contested. Dusty Hannahs won't have to worry about getting off a half-second shot. You're going to give Macon a wider shot. You're going to be able to get guys open out on the perimeter and do some damage from the three-point line. But Moses, it's nothing to shake a stick at tonight what he did. Double-digit scoring, almost had a double-double tonight with 9 rebounds. He still did his thing, but I'd like to see him match or come close to that level of intensity that he played with a year ago. In the first half, it just kind of seemed like watching him, it was just like a, yeah, whatever, I'm here kind of moment. And then the second half, where they started to press on their lead, started to add, and get into 5, 6, 8-point lead, you really started to see him show up, especially the bottom 6 or 7 minutes left to go in the second half. You started to see Moses Kingsley play like Moses Kingsley. If he can match or come close to that level of intensity that he played with a year ago, with the talent that's there, telling you things just open up for this team. compared to a year ago where you didn't have some of the guys that you do this year, you're going to be able to press things forward. You're going to be able to find less contended shots. Guys that have their odds of being wide open greater. Because they're so concerned about what 33 is doing with the ball. It's just nice to have that kind of threat inside, that kind of dual threat like what Moses Kingsley is. We know that he's doing his thing. I mean, my gosh, again, what he did tonight is nothing to complain about. But just imagine if he gets close to what he did a year ago or matches what he did a year ago. They've added some shooters. They've added some guys that just offer something that the Hogs didn't have a year ago. And once again, that's what could be different from this year compared to last year if you get 33 going. Okay, that's it. That's it for me. I'm done. So thank you guys so much for checking out the video. You know what to do. Like, comment, share the content that you've watched. If you haven't already, feel free to tap that subscribe button down below. A special shout out to Razorbackers.com. Really appreciate those guys for helping me get some of this content out. You guys rock. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.